Hello. Well, thanks to this class, I'm learning that about the history of America. Some parts that they don't really tell you about, mostly about why racism and inequality is something so big in America. Um, the reason behind it and everything, like I'm learning about the explicit um, explicit reasons. Um, something. Also, I've been learning about the the prison system, slavery, and what can be done to get everything better. The way I feel about this, um, I feel shocked. I feel mad, mm, sad about the situation. One question that I have is why? Like, what is the reason behind all this? Like, you gotta be deeper just because of skin color. Even after slavery was abolished, like, why all this thing is happening, and why there's still people who think the same way than 100 years ago. Um, Something that I'm in disagreement with, well, most definitely the part when talking about the criminals and the 13th Amendment who abolished slavery, but then still slavery was a thing where people still get to be slave if they had committed a crime, which was just a different kind of way to say slavery. It was just a different way to keep people being a slave, because most time it wasn't even the people who were committing a crime that were being a slave. They were just making things that were not a crime, making them a crime just so they can have a reason to slave other people. Something that I agree with is the part of that a lot of people think that it's a lot of things that need to be changed, that we are no, they're totally that we're not there, like, as well, America as a country done with slavery and racism and inequalities. There's a lot of things that need to be adjusted in order for everything to be good. Something. And what else? I mean, that's pretty much it. Uh, it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of stuff that yes, you think you know about it, but it's deeper than what it seems. It's deeper than what you think. It's deeper than what they showed you on TV or like on the news. Um, has to do something with culture too. Like at this point, this is something. This is like something they value, like you value a lot. So, yep. Um, what can I do? I feel that all that I can do is treat other people equally, the same rights, and anytime that I see any injustice happens, be able to defend whoever is suffering the injustice. Don't be injustice to anybody and don't judge anybody just because of the past. Um, but not just people for the past, for the history or whatever, but just people for the actions. Um, be nice to everybody. Um, that's about it. I feel like there's nothing else that we can really do unless you like are able to become to get in a higher position. Then okay, then you can change the rules. but it's gonna take a lot together. So meanwhile, we can just step by step and do the little things that we can do. Hello, my name is Ahmed Ferrer. I'm Daniel Ferrer Mosquera, and I'm doing my second journey about race and ethnicity, Johnson University. Well, this time on the second journey, or like the second part of this semester, we've been talking about American, like Indian American history, not black, Hispanic and Asian culture, multiracial culture, and international population. What do I think about all of this? Well, starting from the Asians and Hispanics, I feel like nowadays the population in America is bigger than, every time it just keeps increasing and increasing. And what I learned a lot about then is that even though both of them cultures are like immigrants to the culture, like the way they approach in the country, or like the way they function in the country, is always different. Like for example, like the Asian population will always achieve higher jobs or higher education, or just have like a better lifestyle than what the Hispanic population normally do. Every time you see an Hispanic family or an Hispanic community, you always see them like under what the standards are living, or just on the standards, while Asians, they always are like higher. So that's something that I see. Other thing that was told that I didn't know people will see like that is that Asians and Hispanics are not the same. Like I always knew that, but I didn't know people would put those two groups together. It's totally different. Totally different culture and aspect. Just because they're from somewhere else doesn't mean that they should go together. Also, yeah, let's move from there. Let's move to the Indian Americans population. Well, I didn't know much about it, even though I had some background on it. Like I know some of it because I'm close to some Indians, so I know something about the culture, but I just didn't know how much it was about, like how different they were seen into the country. Because, well, of course, they were the first Americans. Like they were here before the United States becomes the United States. They were here, and however they got sent to the reservations, and now they make to still keep the culture, but just like on that little space whatever they are. And I guess that works in a way for them, but at the same time they just being repressed to progress. Not saying maybe they would have done better than what they're doing now if they didn't had to be like excluded from society, pretty much. Even though they got rights and all this stuff and got pretty much their own rules and everything, they are being excluded from society, to the point where you barely see any Indian American around. Like it's not usual to just walk around and, hey, there's an Indian American over there, or like, here my neighbor is an Indian American. That's just something that you will never, you will see it happens, but it's just not normal to see. So yeah, moving from that, the mix of the multicultural population, which nowadays, because there is so many populations in America, is many like cultures and races in America, people just keep getting mixed up, like black and Hispanics, or Mexicans and whites, or Indians and, I don't know, and Asians, whatever. It's like everything gets together, and at this point it's a whole community of those people. and is at the times go, most people are willing to recognize of being multicultural, because on the past you would either be either one, like it don't matter if you were multicultural, like if you have some black on you, then you'll be more recognized as black, or if you just kind of look white, you can just go with it. But nowadays people are willing more to recognize their roots and the cultures, and that's how we learn that people do not identify with what they look like. They identify to what they live, or like just whatever they feel more close to. Could be to their parent, because of their parents, or because the environment they grew up, or just because of the roots, and they just like to explore the side and they feel really connected to it. Um, and then we also talk about the international, uh, yeah, like the international. So pretty much it's people coming into the country from different countries, and it's always for different reasons, either education, jobs, better opportunities of life, um, and how can they be like more adjusted, I guess, to society. And yeah, that was pretty good topic as well, because we were able to see how other people think. Like not everybody thinks like badly, or I mean most people are acceptance, you would think, but sometimes you don't think like that. But yeah, it seems like it is. But something that I really get from like just learning from these chapters and having conversations with all these classmates and professors, uh and I might be wrong, I'm probably am, but this is what I think. Like, America is not a country just of the whites and the blacks. uh I see America like a country for everybody, because as you see, it, like, America is full of people from everywhere, from of the world, from everywhere of the world, and everybody just like, that's why America don't even have a native language, of a language register, like official language. Everybody speaks English because that's the universal language, but English is not the American legal language. Like, America doesn't have a language, which means like you can literally speak any language in here. I mean, English is universal, so everybody should speak English, like in the whole world. um and also, like, this land, like, if it's for land, like, it was Indian Americans first, now they got the reservations, and pretty much anybody who gets here and live here and do good things to society should be considered an American. Yeah, that probably didn't come out how I wanted to, but yeah, you get my point. um I mean, at this point, it's like, yeah, like, it's people from all the countries, that from French, from Egypt, from Africa, from Asia, from Latin America, from Canada, from Europe, from everywhere, that just have moved to America and made their families here, and the backgrounds are from other countries, but they live here and they are Americans. So yeah, America is a country for everybody. Hello. My name is Ahmed Ferrer, and right now I'll be doing my video for race and ethnicity. This is the third phase, the third journal summary. So on this phase of the semester, we were already talking about, well, we already learned about all the topics of the stuff that we needed to know. So now the focus was more on what stand out for everybody individually. So for what all we learned during the class period, I can tell the most people were impacted by the videos and the hard topics that we talk about. Mostly, the video that impacted most people was the documentary The 13, as I talked already on the first genre, because it was really visual, it was really touching, because you were able to see what everything actually means, like why is slavery and racism and indifference so big nowadays. Like you were able to see why it's so important still until today's days, because you were able to see like if people were to act the same way that they acted back there right now, it was seem like, I mean, really crazy and shocking. So I can tell why a lot of people went into that road. Um, then also we were able to see other people really like the topic about imprisonment, uh, like the jail system or the prison system, how that all that works. Um, Mainly because, as you can tell, or as we talk about, uh, many people are just in jail because they've been targeted to be in jail. So like, as I believe I talked about this before, some people will go to jail just because they were aware against drugs and stuff. But it was really like a way to get black people into jail in the jail system. And then not only that, but like what happens after as well, because yeah, like after that, even though they go to jail, if they're criminals or not, because I cannot tell that every time they're innocent, but many times they're innocent and they go into the system, and it's a lot of psychological problems that they get over there, and then whenever they get back into society, it's really hard for them to actually adjust to society, for many reasons, because the traumas that they live in there, or because people are not willing to accept them back into society. It's because having a record or a label on them. So we learn a lot about that. Then other people care a lot about the Sharkies, because as we talk about, it's a community that it is in the country, within the country. However, they live like far away, or they stay away from society. It's like they live under their own rules and their own. It's like they had their own little country within the country, and nobody really care about them. So I can tell that other people lead that way, and other people also just lead to other topics that we really didn't talk about much, but they were really interesting, like adoption, the adoption and racial stuff, or racism within others countries, or how America and other countries treat their immigrants. That was really interesting topics. So I can tell that to this class impacted a lot of people, open up their view for everybody to see things differently. And well, a great question that you could have for this is like what can we all do about all this? This is a question that the professor will do a lot. Um, and in reality, well, we just one person, but I feel like we can still make the change, at least for the future, even if we cannot make the change for the whole world. Uh, we can impact somebody's life, and that's all it takes sometimes. Just do little job, little by little. Just put your little grain, your little rock within the work, and you'll so, yep. Thank you. Hello. This is Ahmed Ferrer one more time. Last time doing my journal report for ethnicity. On this last part of the class, we focus on everybody on their individual paper, an individual topic that they like the most of the class. And I decided to do my project on race and ethnicity from the Bible's perspective. Why? Because, well, I don't know. I really like the Bible stories, and like to understand how the Bible sees things, because I feel like the Bible yeah, it's the manual of life. So whatever the Bible say might be right. Or and then also it's like a lot of history. It's a book. It's like a really ancient, like antiquity or like old book that has to have a lot of truth. So that's the reason. Um, as doing my research, my focus was most to understand how should we treat other people despite our difference. And then also I was able to focus a lot on like watching the opposite side of what that looked like because it was on some parts of the Bible where you think that if you just read that part, being racist or having slaves or just discriminating people is fine just because the way that the things work, but it's just a matter of understanding. A lot of times in the Bible, it would say it's like slaves or like obey to your masters, or it would say that you can tell that it was like the chosen people, stuff like that. But as you read through all that, you can understand that the only way that all that division happens is mostly because, I mean, our sins that people did on the past, and which lead to division, but at the same time that makes part of God's plans for unity. God's ideals is not for everybody to be the same. Um, we all are different. We all are different with different things. Even twins, they could be born the same person, but they got different personalities. So they got different way of thinking on different things. So even twins are different. There's no way that everybody in the world can be the same. And that's what the Bible tells us, that we all just gotta be acceptable, accept that we are different, and accept that other people is different than us. And that doesn't mean tolerate anything, but it just means more like of being respectful and treat everybody like the way that you would like to be treated, or treat everybody with respect, dignity, because everybody is just as human as you are. um so yeah, my main focus was that on the Bible, like seeing what the Bible say about people being different, on why we should treat them. Also, there was a lot of examples of Jesus. As we all know, Jesus is the main character of the Bible. Um, and what did he do when he came across these situations? And we can see that he just accepted everybody the way they were. Not even accepting them. He's like, don't even um discriminate them. You know what I mean? It's just regular people, regardless of whatever they look like, whatever they do, whatever they have. He just he just treat them like a regular person, regardless of anything. If somebody were to do or say something to him, well, the things are different. But as far as just discriminating somebody just because they look different or they did something, he would never care about that. So why should we? And if he dies for all our sins, and he was the perfect man in the world, and he never cared, why should we care? Why like what give us the power to judge other people when we are not perfect at all? If the perfect man in the world did not judge other people, why would we like us do it? It just don't make sense. And that's what the Bible tells us to do. Just live in unity, in unity and harmony with one another, and respect each other despite our difference. Thank you so much.